In fishing, there's the hunt for big bass, there's the camaraderie, then there's your story. What's your story?
Bolt the windows and lock the doors, because y'all got the Colonel in the boat now. Don't let him fool you. Man, he get with it. Speed worm is his girl, but I'm gonna learn something today.
Hey, you wanna put like a 10 push-up wager?
Yeah, let's do that.
We're all on the same team.
We are.
We compete. 10 push-ups.
10 push-ups?
Mama told me don't be crazy.
Yeah.
I've been married to the same woman for 37 years, so ain't no need in changing now.
Oh, bigger. Oh, no.
Okay, that don't count towards bet. That's the wrong kind.
Man, what you doing hitting my bait? Boy, he hit it like he owned it. You know what?
I'm in trouble. I want you doing push-ups. I can see it. I'm in trouble.
Hard chargers already know. The Marines have landed, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, this is such good stuff. You can't get any better than this. I'm talking about how pretty it is, man. Every single time I come out to a beautiful lake like this, you know, people say, well, what if y'all don't catch a fish? And God knows I'd rather catch one. When you have a beautiful scenic setup like this, man, you just relax. You're like, man, I'm just enjoying this wildlife.
It's not necessarily about catching the fish. You know, it's about getting out here and enjoying it. And when you get out here, obviously, you're clearly, particularly when you're competing, you want to catch a fish.
Sure.
But the secret to it all is enjoying the chase.
That's it. That's what we love, man.
Enjoy the journey,
Uh-huh.
and that's the secret to it all. So I enjoy it whether I catch anything. And there are times I come out and I don't do very well. I don't have a bad day. I can't wait to get up the next day and go try it again. It's not a bad day. I just didn't do as well.
That's it, because you're going to catch them.
Sooner or later.
It's a matter of time.
Sooner or later.
Isn't it amazing how we chase this green beast, and yet we still try to predict what the behavior is on the green beast, and we still don't know.
He's got the advantage, see?
He does. The thing about it is you can plan, you can do everything you can to figure out your best chances for catching a big bass, but at the end of the day, it's still a wild animal. You don't know what it's going to do.
You know, I tell you, I find that the guys that do consistently better are the guys that are willing to and able to adjust. My challenge is recognizing that. Sometimes I have a tough time recognizing that. Sometimes I get beat by dogma. I just insist on doing the same thing over and over again. And it's been my downfall.
I think it's all of ours, because it's, you know, those voices that you hear, the fishing voices, the one on your shoulder saying, hey, man.
I'm afraid of them.
Go left, man.
I'm afraid of
Hey,
them.
man, go to the other spot.
They scare me to death. Every time, you know, I'm trying to figure out, who are you?
You haven't even identified yourself.
Who are you? I don't know you. I know what I'm doing.
Well, sometimes you just want to ride or die with the same bait, knowing that this is the one that got me to the party. And so I know it's a known entity, so I'm gonna go ahead and ride with it. And I do it all the time. And sometimes I go the extreme opposite, where I'm not, you know, changing it up more and trying more, you know. I'm changing it up too much. I'm doing like every 5 minutes a new bait, new bait, new bait.
Life is good.
Come here, girl. Oh, man. Dance for me a little bit, girly girl.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Push-ups are looking bad. Push-ups are looking bad.
No.
Good fish.
Oh, it is. It's good fish. The interesting thing, you see the water's pretty calm, but this fish was against the grass line, so I hit the grass line, popped it off the grass line 2 or 3 times, and she ate. Reaction bite.
Great fish.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Ronnie, you know they call me the comeback kid, right?
Oh, I know. I ain't sleep on you, I promise.
You know my grandmother would tell you. My grandmother would tell you, if the cows aren't feeding, the fish aren't biting.
Oh, that's good stuff.
That's what she tells us. They're all laying down, fish are not feeding.
Sounds like she had a fishing influence on you.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
My grandmother and Eva Dawsey on my mother's side,
Wow.
and my father are the ones that started me fishing. I mean, my grandmother was in Dothan, Alabama. My family moved to Orlando when I was 3 months old.
Okay.
But her and my grandfather would come down and visit. And she and I would grab a couple of poles and we'd walk across the street to the canals on Clear Lake and we'd fish all day. And my father would take my younger brother and me fishing every Saturday. I got to tell you, Ron, that did it.
Did it?
That created a monster that I just cannot think of anything I'd rather do
You and
than
me
go
both.
bass fishing.
You know, we have similar stories. I don't know if I told you, but my great-grandmother is the one that helped me hone my skills. Obviously, my father took us fishing, but he would take us because he wanted to spend time with his boys. But at the end of the day, that wasn't his passion. It was my great-grandmother, his grandmother, you know. And so we would go with her fishing, and man, I learned so much, not just about fishing, like the little nugget you just gave us about the cows, but about life.
Yeah.
Because there's some kind of parallel you can draw with fishing and life, you know? Just listening to a person that has a lot of wisdom.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's typically what you get with those older folks back in those days. That was what you got.
Mm-hmm.
You got knowledge and wisdom imparted upon you. It was, and oftentimes they could tell when you weren't getting it.
Mm.
So they retell the story in a fashion that you could get it. I'm just, like I said, I'm a blessed brother.
Man.
My family, my kids all live here. My grandkids all live here.
Man, that's
So I see them all.
Wow.
I see them all regularly. As I mentioned, Jalen fishes a tournament with me every month, once a month.
Man,
my grandson.
Do y'all fishing?
Woo! He fishes a tournament with me once a month.
So, what makes it, you know, special about your relationship with your grandkid? Do you think fishing has anything to do with it because you get some quality time?
You know, fishing is a big part of it. I got to tell you that Jalen took to fishing right off. I mean, immediately. I mean, from the standpoint of when I first started taking him, you know, we were mostly speck fishing. We call them speck. People up north call them fly fishing.
That's right.
And we were doing that. And then I started taking bass fishing. I think he was 9 years old. He caught his first 8-pounder.
Wow.
And so we started making it a regular occurrence where we fish together. It's pretty accomplished. He does very well. And Sunday, it was his fish that he caught within about the last 7 minutes that put us over the hump to win. So
That's incredible. You're fishing a team tournament with your grandpa.
Fishing a team tournament
Man,
with my
you can't get any better than that.
grandson.
With my grandpa making it happen is what he said.
He's having a ball.
That is awesome, though.
He's having a ball. He absolutely loves it. Look at that.
Oh, man. Now, that's a real Big Daddy.
That's a native right there.
He's making sure we see him, too.
That's exactly what he did. I had a buddy of mine used to tell me all the time, Don, how about going over there and pick up that piece of driftwood for me? Pick up what? That piece of driftwood, and I look over there, and I tell him, it ain't happening. That piece of driftwood's got teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, serious teeth.
Man, he is a beast. He got his back out of the water. I think he's in mate mode.
He's letting us know that we're encroaching. He's letting us know. Hold him, Ronnie.
Good fish. Good fish. Oh. Woo! Woo! Yeah, baby.
Come here, darling.
Oh, man. Oh, yes, sir. Bam! She meant business. She meant business. All right, we switched baits. The Colonel and I were looking back towards those lily pads, and all of a sudden we see some splashing going on. And he says, that's a bass. So we saw a lot of feeding fish, and we decided to throw over there, and lo and behold, we caught her while she was feeding. This is Florida, baby. Come and get you some.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Man, he hit that thing. I just felt my arm just go boom. Ah, love those kind. It's Colonel bass fishing, man. There is so much to bass fishing, people just don't know. It's just been an incredible life experience for me. I've actually been able to draw a lot of parallels of bass fishing to my life, and looks like you've been able to do it as well.
Well, from my perspective, I'll share with you that, like yourself, I fish tournaments. Oftentimes, the tournament's won or lost based on the decision you make. You know, whether or not you need to make a change, whether or not you need to go to a different area. Oftentimes, the decision is to keep doing what you're doing. And the results of that is the consequences of whether or not you get the opportunity to catch fish that are capable of getting you over the winner's circle, or whether you're not. Well, life is no different. Oftentimes you're presented with, I won't necessarily say they're challenges or obstacles, but there comes a time where you need to make some life decisions and some changes in your lifetime. In my family, for instance, in my military career, there was a time where my wife and I had to sit down and decide that I was going to be a geographical bachelor. The reason was because our kids were still in school, and for me to get up and move to my next station, we'd have to pull them up out of school.
Wow.
So the decision was they will stay here, and I will move to my next station, which was in Alabama. It turned out for the best thing for us, for my family, because all the kids graduated high school, all the kids now are graduated from college, all the kids are out doing their own, and we're no worse for the wear. The experience that my kids got from that, from having to not have both their parents around, but still being held responsible for the morals and the responsibilities that we gave them, it stuck with them. And that's when we realized that some of the things we were doing were the right things that we were doing. Because even in the absence of both of us, they still were able to make the right decisions along the way to allow them to prosper. And they're all doing well right now. And we feel blessed for that. Has a lot to do with the decisions that we made. Has a lot to do with sharing the decision-making process with our kids as they grew up, because oftentimes they were going to have to make decisions either in the face of peer pressure or whatever they needed to make some decisions of their own. So it all kind of went in full circle, and once again, we're all a happy, collective family with grandkids, and everybody's doing well.
Got him. He ain't going nowhere. You got him. Ooh, he might be a good one.
I think it is.
He is. Yes, sir. That's a good fish.
I hope it's a largemouth.
Good fish, Sean.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the speed worm is at work. That's a beast, man. He hit it good, man.
Yeah, he did.
Beautiful. So, Colonel, for a young man that's trying to do the right thing for his family, and there is really no manual to necessarily being a success or even a parent, what advice would you give a young man that's coming behind you and wanting to learn something about life and how to be successful and pass that on to their kids?
Certainly there's no one answer for anything, because everyone has different situations, different circumstances that they are confronted with and have to deal with. But my belief is that there are opportunities out there for everybody. The secret to that is preparation. You have to prepare yourself to step through the door of opportunity when that window opens. If you have a clue as to what it is you want to do, who you want to be, how you want to live your life, then you need to prepare yourself for it. I think one of the most important things is to never second guess yourself, never doubt yourself.
That's good.
Never feel that you can't accomplish goals. Because if you do, then you won't set goals. And if you don't set goals, then you're not working toward any strategy or any plan or whatever. You're just kind of meandering through. For me, I was fortunate to have people that influenced me from a standpoint of getting my education was important. So taking advantage of the opportunities to be educated is important. And it's not necessarily that you have to go and get a college degree or something. There may be a particular vocation that you're interested in or that you feel you have an aptitude for. Pursue that, go after that. And as you get that and you start to accomplish and feel confident with that, it will oftentimes lead you to other vocations and other approaches in life that allows you to expand and broaden your horizons in terms of what do you want to try next? What do you want to do next? There were several decision points in my life that were presented to me, and I didn't necessarily make the decisions by myself. I had people actually suggest to make the recommendations of what I could do to accomplish those certain things. I was ready to get out of the Army at my 4-year stance. I had someone come up and says, you need to be motivated. Why don't you give this unit a try and we'll try and help you get you there. And they did. Worked out for me. 21 years later, I'm happy I did that.
Wow.
Probably one of the best things that I did, because not only did it help my career, but it put me in a position where I was able to help a lot of other young, up-and-coming Army officers to manage their careers, and I learned how to do that. The bottom line to it all is you. You know, it may not be what you want at that point, in that time in your life or your career, but it may be the best thing for you, and your positive approach to it will reveal that to you. If you take it and approach it from a positive standpoint, give it the best you got, do the best you can do, typically it'll work out well for you. It may not work out the best, but it'll work out well. But if you go into a situation with a negative attitude, believe me, the consequences and the results won't be, by and large, they won't be very good. Preparation is the key to being able to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to you. Get him done running. Yeah, you got him. I got him. Yeah, you got him.
Biggin, biggin, biggin,
Stay with
biggin, biggin.
Oh, real big one.
Biggin, biggin, biggin. Oh. Come here, girl. Yeah. Bam. Oh, thank you, sir. Boom.
Booyah.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Woo!
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Awesome fish.
Man, I thought I missed her because she was
That's
running
why
so
I asked
fast.
you. That's why
I was like, is she on here?
Super
Yeah.
fish.
Same thing, interesting, about this fish. In the grass, we threw it in the grass and worked it out real slow. She couldn't resist.
Awesome.
Beautiful, big Florida bass. All on that frog. I told him that frog ain't that pretty, but boy, it catch some fish, man. Don't ever underestimate the frog, even when it's calm like this with high pressure, because you still have those big, lazy bass sitting in that stuff, waiting for a quick, easy meal. This thing is a beast. This is it right here, baby.
That's a healthy fish.
Bam! You are so pretty. Oh. Then we're gonna set her inside, let her do her thing, get some water on her, and then you just let her go. Whew.
Get him done running.
Good fish, good fish. Oh. Look at that thing, man. Nice.
Here we go, here we go. Oh boy, here you go.
Oh. Wow. God, this never gets old, man. You've had such a successful life. You've accomplished so much in a life. The interesting thing, nobody likes to talk about it. At the end of the day, there's a time and a place where you're gonna have to meet your maker. And we call it an appointment, the appointment that nobody will ever miss. Knowing that, we all have that appointment, what would you want people to say about Don Eady, the Colonel?
Good person. Good person, dependable, loyal, believed in God, feared God, a good husband, a good father. At the end of the day, those are things that are important to me. Certainly having St. Peter saying, come on in is critical to all of that.
Sure.
But being respected by people, and that's about it. It wouldn't get no better than that.
That's beautiful.
It wouldn't get any better than that.
That's beautiful.
Just want to be a good person.
That's saying a lot, and I think you fulfilled that in so many ways.
Well, I thank you for that.
Not just in, us meeting and sharing, and you not necessarily even knowing me that well, but we had the brotherhood sharing of,
Yes.
in armed forces, and you just kind of pulling me under your wing and saying, hey, Ronnie, let me show you something, young man, and, I think you have it figured out, but I think I can show you some other things. And that's what it's all about, sharing of information, because we never have it all figured out.
Every day.
And that's what I appreciate about you, is you always willing to give, even when someone doesn't ask for it, because you're always looking to see people in a better place. And that's what we want. All I want to know is, have you, warmed up your arms a little bit? I mean, you feel like you can do some pretty good push-ups?
Understanding that I don't have anything against short people and small people, I think you could benefit more from the push-ups than I can. But if I owe you push-ups, I will pay my dues. That's the one good thing about 37 years of marriage to that woman. She absolutely refuses to allow us to owe anybody anything. So
That's
if I owe you
beautiful.
10 push-ups, you will get them at the end of the day.
And vice versa. You know I'll be on my face doing my thing, man.
Okay.
Let's go get him,
United States
dog.
Marine Corps. I love you too.
Beautiful.